because we actually have four different regions, and only the US has the solution partner designation. Whereas during legacy time, when one region attained a silver or gold competency, all the others would. And ever since we moved to the designations, it's only the US and they all became separate. So we've been also confused about that because now, and we've been told from Microsoft that we need to have certifications and people qualify across all the different regions. So when you said that, I really wanted to ask you a question if now we can really get like just one designation and have them reflect like we used to with legacy days.
So the answer to Microsoft gave you, or whoever gave you that information, was wrong. Okay, because I've dealt with several partners that, like, I had one partner that their global MPN headquarters was in Germany, right? But their subsidiary was in the US. The US had all the designations, but Germany didn't, right? And then so Germany wasn't getting any accruals at all, right? And then just US. Okay, so the main thing is we want to have your headquarters. This is, you have to open up a ticket, and you're going to list all your MPN IDs inside the ticket. You're going to say, hey, we have an incorrect association. I would like you to please change this where my headquarters, okay, is where all your solution partner designations are, okay, or all the certificates are. That's where I would put your headquarters, and then put all of your other companies as subs. Okay, child accounts, child locations, right? Okay. And they're probably going to push back 2 or 3 times. This happens to us.
Yeah, it's been 5 years. They're pushing back.
Yeah. And you just say clearly, and don't even talk about solution partner designations or blah blah blah. Okay, just understand and say, look, I want this one as my HQ, and these are my subs. And I want to make sure that this one is being recognized as HQ that has all the certs, okay? Because then that cascades down. But you have to be clear with them. Be like, and keep opening the same ticket, not resolved, not resolved, not resolved. Sometimes you just have to do that. It's frustrating. Because a lot of times don't read it, right?
Yeah, everyone is studying in the UK and in the States, and we have targets now to attain like Azure specialization. So that also is so helpful. Thank you.
No problem. No problem. Okay. Awesome. 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 All right. So next is customer claims. Okay. Let's click into that. This is super important. Okay. Remember when we talked about how we might have some breakage? We may not have some customers that are in our distributor is not going into for some reason here in the States, right? Or in our partner center, right? So this is what we'll do. We'll go to incentives. We'll go add a customer, and then we want to go to use and consume. Okay. Now, what this is going to do, you give it a claim name, and it would be the customer that you're working, right? You give the partner location, right? And then you're going to give the customer tenant ID, which you should know, okay? The tenant ID there, right? And then you go next, and we'll get to associated workload. Okay, what did you sell them? You'll put in the contact information, and inside the contact information, they'll ask you for proof of execution documentation, okay? I'm going to give you a pro tip here. Microsoft does not accept DocuSign or Adobe Sign, but they will accept a general email that's not signed from your customer that says, yep, they are our partner of record, which I don't understand it, but you know, some things are just strange in life, right? Just whatever. Okay. Then your contact information, review and complete, and an email goes to your customer. Bing, bang, boom. They say yes. Now you'll start getting that attribution to your organization. Okay. Now there's a second scenario. Okay. Now let's say you're working on a customer that is a very large customer that you didn't sell through CSP, but you still want to get some credit for it, right? So you go over back to add customer, and we would go to use or consume. Same thing. We do all the same things that we just did, but we click in here. I claim for recognition only and would like to opt out of incentive payment on this claim. Now, you're not really opting out because you're not getting the incentives on it anyways, right? So you want to claim that this is going to give you scoring points towards your skilling requirement. Okay, so that is that. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and push
I'm
close.
so sorry, Sherman. Can you repeat that? Because I just got a little
no problem. And don't be sorry,
Thank
brother.
you.
This is good. Interrupt me. Like, this is great. This is great. Okay.
Yes, that's really important.
Super important. Okay. So let's say you're with a customer, but they're on an enterprise agreement. Okay. But you're influencing either the ACR or the modern workplace, the Teams phone or whatnot. And you want to get credit for this, data and AI. Okay. You want to go to add customer, and we're going to go to use and consume. Okay. And then inside of here, we're going to do the exact same thing: claim name, partner location, customer tenant ID. Then you're going to associate the workload, contact information, proof execution, review and complete. Boom. Now you're going to start getting credit for the workloads that you are influencing. So I'll give you an example. Majid, what if you're working on Bank of HSBC? They're a big bank. They're everywhere, right? HSBC, I think, right? And you're working on the Teams phone migration portion of it, right? But you're not, they're on an enterprise agreement somewhere else, right? So the idea here is to let them know, hey, you want recognition for all those deployments, enablements, and the usage, right? So they're going to come in here, you'll add the customer via here.
Yeah, perfect. Okay. And that's only for EA customers, or also like a bigger kind of like 200 seats SMB, upper mid-market, buying also through CSP, either through like another direct bill partner or with another even indirect reseller, but I'm just providing services. And will it help me to have that claiming part C4 relationship? Like, will it also give me designation, association, anything like that?
So yes, yes, and yes.
Okay.
It helps. You want to do it. Now, the only thing you'll have to do, okay, is work with that partner to let them know that you're going to send an email, right, to your contact saying this, so there's no confusion, right? And then you put in the not looking for the incentive because you're not getting it.
Perfect.
And you just communicate that. Communication is key to life, right? Yeah, so that's what it is.
Perfect. And that would give me, for example, the performance points for Azure, for example, for like a data and AI designation. Like if I end, like if I'm not the one billing the customer and I come here and I add them, and let's say they're like a good like Azure machine that's like running at 10K, would that reflect in my performance points, even though I'm not the one transacting the license, for example?
So you'll have to do a second step. Okay. For Azure, you're going to do this step, but then you're also going to do the DPOR and PAL. Okay. And PAL, what PAL is called partner admin link. Basically, you're going to go into their Azure tenant, right, that you have access to, and then you're going to run a script on PowerShell, which basically adds your MPN ID to those workloads specifically that you have access to. Okay. And so the combination of that, along with this way of electing, gives you then all of the attribution that you get by working on that customer.
Perfect. So that's why we keep on trying everything until it reflects. And I'm glad now you gave me the answer that it's at least these two things. All right. Also, once again, super helpful. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. I do this every day, so I know all the problems, right? So it's hard when like this is not your business, right? So yeah, okay, cool. So yeah, that's so these are nuances. And then just to for Özge, Microsoft is an ocean of crap, and there's a lot of little things you gotta kind of understand. So it's good that you came, Özge, to this, because this really just kind of clears up a lot of stuff. Right. Okay. Awesome. All right.
And that's why everyone needs someone like Sherman to actually walk them through all these things.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. Let's go back to home. We got two more things here, and then we're going to take a break. Okay. Now we did incentives. I want you to go to membership, please. Okay. I think I may have gone too quickly, but just in case, it's home, and then there's a button called membership. Click on that one. Okay. Now, Jeffrey, it says, okay, mine we have more than one. Oh, Jeff. Okay. Sorry. I didn't see that. I just saw it there. Okay. So membership, basically, what I want you to do is actually just copy this, because this will show you if you're a legacy partner, but when your expiration date comes to fruition, we want to time the Azure solution designation to that. Okay. To the timing. But what I want you to do on the left-hand side, scroll down to where it says solution partner, and then go to overview. Okay, everybody click into overview. Okay. Now, this is the reason why we're here. Okay, so solution partners. So these are those 6 areas, right? We have business applications, data and AI, digital app, infrastructure, security, and modern work. What I want you to take a look at in the bottom right-hand corner is where it says modern work, because you're going to see in there it says SMB or enterprise. This was the beta test to make sure the scoring worked. Now, July 1st, the rest of these solution designations should have the same thing, SMB or enterprise, and you'll automatically be put into that path based on what's in Partner Center. Okay. Now, what I want us to do, I think the majority of us want to do infrastructure or at minimum. So let's go ahead and click into that one. Go to view details. And a couple items here that I think are important to understand. Okay. One, performance, net new ads. We understand that, and that's going to lower, right? And then behind that, we have customer success. As you can see, my deployments already hit because of VMs, and then you have usage growth, right? But let's click into where see where it says intermediate certifications. Go ahead and push view details. Okay. Now, when we view details, okay, it's going to tell us how many people we have that are certified that have Azure Admin or Azure Solution Architect. Okay. Now, the nuance here is that the certification belongs to the person, not the company. So if your person, when they got that certification, they probably got it with their Yahoo account, Hotmail, Gmail, whatever, Outlook.com, right? Email account. And so they're not aligned with you. They didn't put your company in as a company to test their cert to. So my guidance to you is to have a lunch day where all your technical resources come in, you buy them pizza, and you tell them to bring their laptops to the conference room. And then your first exercise is going to be like, okay, everybody, open up your learning portal and please attach the company. Here's the company's MPN ID. Go ahead and go for it. Please do it. Really important. It takes about about 30 days for it to update correctly in here. But you can just go download, and it'll actually download all the people that you'll have in there. So really important to understand this little nuance, okay? As well as advanced certs, same thing, right? What do you need, right? And it actually tells you the examples and which one of the advanced certs would actually be really good. Like for this one, Azure Virtual Desktop Specialty, excellent advanced cert. Okay, so simple. Okay. Any questions?
Yes, I have a question, Chairman.
Yes.
I check and I don't have these accesses on my partner center. So you say that this recording will be not posted. So is it possible to get this copy on our end? Maybe I can check it later when I have an access.
Oh, so okay, we don't post this. We're not going to post this publicly, but we're going to give you access to the link in your chat, in your link that we gave you earlier. We'll post the recording of the video there. No problem.
Okay. Okay, perfect.
We're good, right? Okay. So now, so permissions. Okay, actually, this is good that we're here. Okay, to get permissions, and this is something we just figured out. Even if you have global admin, you may not be able to check all the boxes. So Ozge, what you'll do is you'll have somebody who has global admin. They'll go to you can go to your profile, go to my profile, okay? And then when you're in my profile, what I want you to do is go over to, see where it says view permissions? Oops, that's not the place to go, okay? You actually have to go to user management, okay? This is kind of a weird end around, but hey, Microsoft is confusing. And then what I do is I search Sherman Kranzer, okay, for the user. And I'm going to click into that user, okay? Now, what that's going to do is show me all my permissions. And what you have, you probably don't have any of these boxes checked, or maybe only one or two of them. And you want to tell your Azure admin that you need to have all of these checked.
Okay.
Okay, and actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go ahead and take a little snip. I'm going to put this into our chat window so you have this as a reference to send to your global admin to say, I need these permissions turned on.
Okay, thank you, Sherman.
Yeah, totally. Okay, let's go back. We are, okay, last quick one, referrals. Okay. We're gonna take a break after this. We'll take 10 minutes. Okay, so referrals. Okay, so the marketplace is so important to be in right now. We have to have offers in the marketplace. We have to, okay? Now, with that being said, we have, in here, you're gonna see inbound and outbound leads. Most of you, if you click on inbound, you're not gonna see any in here because you're not using the co-sell deal registration or have an offer in the marketplace. Outbound is actually where you create a claim, okay? Not a claim, but you do a deal registration. So I'll give you an example. You have an account, a prospect for Microsoft Fabric, and the company is a major corporation, okay? So you'll go in here, you'll have another thing that says add customer. You'll add a co-sell deal registration customer, right? You'll add them. And then you'll select add or request help from Microsoft. So what's going to happen is when we deal register that, all of a sudden the account executive that is assigned to that account will get a notification. You have a co-sell deal registration with a partner who wants to talk to you. Then the Microsoft account executive will cross-reference you to make sure that you're an eligible partner they can talk to. And if you are, they will create a meeting invite where then now you start talking to them about your deal. Now, I'm going to stress this. If you're not currently doing deal registration, Microsoft is now scoring their partners based on deal registration. Really important. Really, really, really important. Okay. I would say don't register any deal that is less than 200 seats, okay, or less than 10,000 in ACR, or maybe total. You know, that's under $1,000, right? Keep it to the bigger accounts. Now, pro tip: got to be a little careful here. Okay. If you have a customer or a prospect, a customer that is within 3 months of a renewal, or you have a prospect that you're selling licensing to, the worst thing you can do is let the Microsoft seller know about the account and the prospect, because naturally that's part of their job, to sell licensing, and they can do a deal that you'll never be able to touch because they can do an enterprise agreement. So my guidance to the partners that we work with is very simple. If you have anything to do with licensing in the next 3 months, don't register the deal. Only register deals that you've already completed the licensing piece, or you know you're not going to get the licensing deal, but it's more services related, okay? And then you're using this area to land and expand. I'll give you an example. Okay, so we have one partner we work with, and we are tasked to set Microsoft meetings. So they had a customer, which was a municipality, which was a city. Okay. And this partner does a lot of data and AI jumpstarts and workshops. So big data and AI workshop that they just scheduled. So we registered the deal here, right? And we tied it to our marketplace offering, which was an AI workshop. So now there's a connection point. Scheduled a meeting with the Microsoft sales executive, got on the call. And what we did on the call is we said, hey, you may not know this, but we already are in the account. And for this particular municipality, they want to do an AI jumpstart and a workshop, but they wanted to know, would Microsoft invest any money into this into the session? So the lady who is the sales executive said, yeah, absolutely, 100%, we need this. What's interesting about that, though, is then the next question I put up, I said, well, hey, do you have any other municipalities that you work with? And she says to us, would you like me to show you my list of accounts? And all of a sudden, I'll be like, yeah, absolutely, do this. This is amazing. And she's like, I have 5 more cities that would like to do this. Would you like to work together, right? So now the partner used this to basically get them into 5 more opportunities. That's the holy grail of this. How do we leverage what we're doing with Microsoft to get us into more opportunities? Okay, so that is Partner Center. Now, go ahead and leave it up because we have one more that we're going to click into after I talk about Cloud Ascent, which is the next program, and then we'll get into business profitability. But let's go ahead and take an 8-minute break. We'll come back at 30 minutes past the hour, if that's okay with everybody. We'll do 30 minutes past the hour. Bio break, get coffee. I'm gonna go to break. Whoops. Break. So 5 minutes past the hour. Excuse me. 8 minutes from now. So is it 10:22? Okay. So 30 minutes past the hour. Yes. So 8 minutes from now. Okay. Thanks, everybody. We'll be right back. All right, here we go. Okay, so we're gonna talk about a new program that's come up called Cloud Ascent, which is one of the very few programs that I am a big proponent of, and I want to make sure that you understand it. And then we're going to go back to Partner Center to download the actual report. So really, what Cloud Ascent really is, it's using machine learning to build a modern data warehouse to actually look at buyer intent and buyer signals to actually get data on your current customer base. Okay, so a lot of our partners, let me just kind of set the tone here. You set it and forget it. You sell licenses to a customer, and you maybe have a lot of customers, right? And they just keep with that same license, right? But do you know when they're looking, when they're browsing for other workloads? Are they downloading content, on Azure, right? Or do they have AWS? Do they have Google? Are they doing things that you didn't know about, right? So Microsoft is like, hey, we're going to put our money where our mouth is, because we keep talking about, hey, how do you use data to make better decisions? They actually created this program, which is amazing. It's available to you right now in your partner center. So you automatically get included into this program, but you probably didn't know very much about it. Okay, so let me go ahead and click on this. So a couple things here. There are 3 solution plays, right, that we need to understand: Azure, Modern Workplace, and Business Applications. Okay, those are the 3 Microsoft solution plays, and that's what the data is being acquired to help us make decisions on Azure or Modern Workplace for those partners that are here. Okay, the next thing we need to understand is the SMB segment and subsegments that come with SMB. So if you look at this, very small businesses, these are customers between 1 and 25 employees. Medium businesses, we talk about, are between 25 and 300, and then upper medium businesses are 300 plus employees. This is kind of where it stops as far as taking a look at buyer intent and interest into doing things. So we understand this. These are the subsegments. And this is a good, actually, let me go to the next slide. This is a good slide to kind of just understand, where is the opportunity? So worldwide, there are 72 million small businesses, right, that have no IT there. So you're talking to them. There's 6.4 million accounts that are in the medium business segment, right, that have a combination of in-house and partner-led IT. And then the upper medium, there's 350,000 upper median accounts out there that we can go for that are typically, in-house IT, but you're doing workloads with them, right? So if we understand that, we can get it. Okay, so let's get into the what Cloud Ascent and machine learning really is. Okay, so what it is the way to look at it is Microsoft is sending out millions of web crawlers out there, they scan and collect billions of customer signals by pinging customers' domains and monitoring blog posts, monitoring press releases, social streams, and technical forums. Okay, so these web crawlers are out there doing this, right? And then what it does, it generates predictions. So the data collected in the previous step basically falls into a machine learning model. Okay, this is really important. It's a machine learning model, right, that generates a structured data set of sales and marketing predictions based on how those customers are behaving. Okay, kind of cool. The Valhalla of what we always wanted to have done, right? So this is what it's doing. And then it feeds it into these optimization models, which will then give us recommendations on what to do with our customer base. This is so cool. This is lights out. You're going to be unbelievable what we're going to get from this data. Okay, so if we understand that, then let's understand the cloud scoring piece of it. Okay, so with the cloud scoring, they're scoring this stuff based on, first of all, buying signals. What are they browsing? What are they clicking on, right? Then next is also buying signals with content downloads. Are they downloading Microsoft Fabric white papers? Are they downloading Microsoft Azure white papers, migration, data and AI? Are they doing that, right? Next is just win-loss data from previous purchases that they made in the past. And then lastly, and I think this is really cool, it's the firmographics piece. What firmographics really is the ability to understand what changes that a company has made. Have they acquired another company? Have they announced a new funding round? Are they hiring? Are they showing that they're hiring an additional 40 or 50 or 60 people, right? A lot of these things that we don't know because we're just servicing the business, but we don't know about the business, what they're doing, right? So if we understand that, these are what the cloud ascent scoring models really are. And the buying signals start with the top end of it, right? What is in, what are they browsing, right? And then there's the publicly available firmographics at the second piece of the scoring. And lastly, they put that all together, and then what kind of types. Okay, so if we understand that and understand the value of this, we just need to understand what are the 4 clusters that they're going to put our clients in. Okay, so when we download the report, we're going to have 4 clusters that we can filter the report on. The first cluster being Act Now. These are sales-ready customers, okay? They've shown buyer intent, and we'll get into that. Next one is Evaluate. There's going to be a section of customers that evaluate that we need to make sure our marketing is attuned to that. Now, we're going to talk about marketing in the business profitability section of this. We need to stop this one thing. We need to stop marketing products. We need to start marketing solutions, okay, to problems within a customer base. We'll get into that in a minute. But then there's the Nurture cluster, right? Drive awareness campaigns. Did you know, right? Or educate. Now, a lot of your customers may not get touched a lot, right? And what you want to make sure you're doing is at least having a monthly lunch and learn type of thing that's available to all of your customers to come learn about the latest and greatest or net new opportunities that are there. Okay, you want to make sure that you're doing this so you're hitting at all different angles, right, of your customer base. So these are the 4 clusters that we will filter our report in order to actually see what's going on. Okay, next, let's understand what are the products and models. Okay, so Microsoft has said, okay, there's 4 here. There's a white space model, really, that says, okay, customers are composed of predictions for Microsoft, models are composed of predictions for existing Microsoft customers where they don't have a product or a net new prospect. So this customer may have Modern Workplace, Office 365, but does not have, okay, Azure. Okay, cool. The next model is upsell. Okay, these you use transaction data to predict potentials for upsell in your Microsoft 365 SKU. So what if they have Office 365 E3, haven't adopted the new M? This gives you a model of, okay, these people are ready for the new M. Okay, the next model is Azure Next Logical Workload. So if you have a lot of Azure clients, this is great because it tells you, okay, we've analyzed their current Azure environment. The next logical workload for them is to get X, right? Or to increase their virtual machines or reserved instance or, a lot of the different things that they actually do, right? And then the last model is going to be end of service model, okay? Which is basically all your customers that are coming end of service for Windows 7, Office 2010, that kind of a thing that we'll actually see. So those are the 4 models that actually go back to the 4 clusters that we saw. Okay, now what we're going to do here is we're going to show you where to get this report. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen again. I want everyone to go back to their partner center. Okay, for $25 gift card to Amazon, where do you think we would go? What button are we going to press to find this report? Anyone come to the chat window, type it in. First person to say it gets it. Ah, look at that. Andre, good job. Insights. Yes, you're the first. Okay, Andre gets it. $25. Phil, put that down, brother. Okay, everyone click on Insights. Okay, now, what I want you to do, because Microsoft loves to make it simple, but they hid this report. So scroll all the way down the very bottom, and there's this thing called Downloads Hub. At the very bottom left-hand corner, Downloads Hub. Click on that. And we're all going to actually get our report right now. Okay. So as you can see, I've already had some of these here, right? But what I want you to do is see where it says create new report. If you look at my screen, create new report, I click into create new report and I select cloud product performance. If you have another selection, select cloud product performance. And then I want you to select basic under basic data. Okay. Then what we're going to come down here is, see where it says data source? We're going to click on two. We're going to click on the first one that says Cloud Ascent, Azure Propensity. We're going to click on that, and then we're going to select all. Okay. And if you scroll down here, it's going to select all these things in Azure, but also going to give you the Azure intent, Azure cluster. Where are they, right? Has Google, has M365. It's going to give us a lot of really good data. Okay. Now go back to the left, and I want us to select M365 propensity. Click on that sucker, and we're going to select all. Great. Awesome. Okay. So now we have two reports. Now, if you're a business apps partner, you would select D365 as well. Okay. So you do that. I think we have one person here on that. Okay. Now we go down here, it says lifetime, and then we got to give the report a name. So I would just put in propensity data May 2024 CSV, and then you go and push download now. Okay. Now it says download is triggered successfully. Okay. Now, if you look at your reports, it's going to say running. Okay. If we wait about 10 minutes, it's going to say completed, and then it's going to give you the option for download. When you download the report, okay, there's going to have a lot of filters available. You're going to go down to the clusters, and that's where you're going to say act now. You'll select all act nows, and then it will list all the companies that are ready to be divided and given to your business development reps to start going out there and talking about net new workloads. Pretty much it. Okay. Awesome. 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 That is Cloud Ascent. Any feedback on Cloud Ascent? Did any of you guys know about this, or anyone use Cloud Ascent or the propensity data? I'm curious. And you can come off of mute. Okay, no problem. All right. Before I get to the next step here, I want to go ahead and make sure before anyone else leaves, we have the link to our survey. It's 5 minutes for the survey. Phil's going to go ahead and put it back in the chat window. If you could please fill that out. It's just 6 questions, and just click add. Would you recommend this course? I really appreciate it. That's the only thing I'm asking from you guys to do for me is to just fill that out because I can give it back to Microsoft. They're really keen on getting feedback from the people that are here. So yeah, we just put in the chat window. Very simple. Forms.microsoft.com. I'll even show it to you. Let's see. It's verifying the link. It's pretty simple. Okay, well, the link is coming up. You get what I'm going at. Okay, now what I want to do is transition. Oh, not available right now. That's crazy. Oh, there you go. So see it right here. It's just last name, first name, email. How would you rate the presentation, quality content, blah, 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 submit, and maybe give your feedback. Even any suggestions to improve, what did you like? Okay, very simple. Okay, a couple other things I want to just show you. And I want to go to my website because I want to invite you to a further meeting that we have. It's called Voice of the Microsoft Partner. So if you go to our website, which is www.crancer.us, I'm not trying to sell you on anything here, okay? This is our website. And in our events section, I'm going to put this down. This is where you can download the invites for Voice of the Microsoft Partner. And I'll put the link into to download. It's an ICS. And what we do every last Friday of the month, we have a 1-hour Q&A where I interview Microsoft executives or partners that are doing something amazing. Or, we're always trying to solve problems. We do not sell in this session. I'm very protective of this. This is a safe place where we can all network together and come together worldwide and talk about Microsoft solutions problems. And then what I can do later on, I can actually just invite you to the session if you want me to. The cool thing is when you download this and accept it, okay, you will get the calendar invites, but your name will not be shared with anyone else. We figured out a way to block all names of attendees so that one person can't just data mine, okay, from that. So we'd love to have you there. If you come to one, come to two, come to them all. It's a great place to network. especially worldwide. So that's one thing. And then the other thing too, I just want to kind of briefly touch in here. This is called the M&A marketplace. So now let me go ahead. I'm going to post this in the chat window. If you are thinking of buying another managed services provider, or you are thinking of selling your organization, but you don't know how to do it, and you want to do this anonymously, right? That's the problem. We don't want to tell everybody we want to sell. So this M&A marketplace, you get started, you fill out a form. We partnered with a company called IT Exchange Net, and basically you get an anonymous listing. If you want to list your organization, you can list it anonymously, okay? And as well as also browse anonymously for companies that you might want to acquire. Now, when you find a match, then you talk with IT Exchange Net. You make sure that the matches come together, that there's enough time to actually talk to somebody, and then you get introduced to somebody there. But it's anonymous, and I just wanted to share that with you. There's no cost to it. Just a kind of a cool place, like you have something, right? And you can also talk to them directly if you want to know, like, well, what do I have to do to get ready, right, for a sale, right? What do I have to do, right? So I think that's the important thing to understand there. So that is the two areas that I wanted to cover today. Okay, awesome. All right, well, let's get into, let's see, we have the models, did the break. Okay, now this is the business profitability portion of our section, okay? And I'm going to get into these things, but if you take a look at your workbook that everyone was provided, what I'm talking about in these next 4 slides is going to be about business review, technical readiness, marketing review, and sales evaluation. Okay, so I have some pretty strong opinions about a few things here, but my opinions are based on me sitting with over 1,000 partners over the past 10 years and working with them, and understanding the pros, the cons. This will also, if you complete this workbook, the first 4 pages, okay, then send it back to us. We will then schedule a 2-hour or 1 hour, and we can do 2 different meetings, it's fine. We'll give you our comments based on this. And then we'll also help you with understanding and navigating and just figuring out what you need to do, okay? That is gratis. That is being actually paid for by Microsoft for us to do that. Okay, so with that being said, let's go ahead. I'm gonna uncheck or stop sharing my screen because I wanna get into business alignment. Okay, and I'm gonna give you some suggestions here. Now, if you don't understand what I'm thinking about too, please say, okay, can I just get a thumbs up that we're ready? We'll go into this section now, or if there's any questions, give me a reaction. Just give me a thumbs up, and then I'll know that we're good. Okay, awesome. All right, fantastic. Okay, cool. Okay, business alignment. Let's talk about this. Okay, I'm going to talk about profitability. I'm going to talk about utilization rate. I'm talking about all of these, but a lot of us kind of think about this and we think, okay, business alignment, right? How can we become more profitable? How can we build 2 to 4 times revenue year over year? Maybe we're stuck. Maybe we're in the $2 million range. We want to get to 10 million. What do we have to focus on to be able to do that, right? Things have also changed significantly in our industry, right? With 5,000 new cloud workloads, is being an MSP really for tomorrow? And I say this because, as an MSP, you're charging a monthly fee to manage a person's whole IT infrastructure and network, right? But as we get to cloud networking, and like in my office, I don't have any wires. Everything's cloud. Everything's wireless. I don't have any paper, right? So things are changing, and you're having to become more specialized. And that's the way we do our business. So the very first thing that I think about is, who should you align with as a Microsoft partner, right? You have 1,000 different vendors to choose from, right? Not just as a Microsoft partner, but as a partner, an IT company, right? So I think what we need to start thinking about now, creating a strategy session, okay, is number 1, who do we want to be? Okay, how do we want to go about this, but always keeping profitability in mind, okay? And then saying, well, wait a minute, maybe we don't want to be an MSP because it's almost going to be impossible to be this MSP where we're doing everything to everyone, right? The profitability, the margins are lower and lower and lower and lower because of just the amount of information we need to understand and do, and how's this all going to work, right? So we have to think about that, right? And we're in a very special part of our industry's growth where what you did 5 years ago doesn't really matter today. You have all these new products that are coming out. AI is sucking the wind out of everything these days, right? So we have to think about that. Who do we align with, right? What type of services do we provide? Now you're going to look in the workbook. It says, are you a project services partner? Are you a MSP? Are you doing recurring revenue partner? These kinds of things, right? We want to be becoming recurring revenue, but we want to be careful with that recurring revenue model. Okay. The next is, I'll give you, this is my guidance. I think today, as a Microsoft partner, we need to focus on those 5 things that we talked about earlier, right? Which was, partner solution designation, advanced specialization, co-sell, blah, 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 right? But what I think is a better overall strategy for our partner base is to now start thinking verticals, okay? And start thinking solutions to problems inside of those verticals. Solutions to problems inside those verticals. Okay, how do we do this? Well, after the session, you're going to create a strategy session with your sales and your technical folks. Okay, I want you to bring them all into a room and open up the whiteboard. Okay, then what you're going to do is you're going to say, okay, vertical markets. You're going to ask them, what vertical markets should we align with? They're going to give you a bunch of different answers, but that's not how we find the vertical market you want to align with. What you do is you print out your 100 customers, and what you do is you section them out into industry, okay? And you're going to have industry 1, industry 2, and industry 3. You're going to have it in there, right? What are the majority customers servicing? Okay. Now, when you state that in your meeting with your strategy session with everybody, you're going to say, okay, we're going to do a brainstorm here. So if vertical 1 is healthcare, most of your clients are in healthcare. Great. Okay. So you're going to ask your technical resources, hey, by the way, I know we've got a lot of healthcare clients. Let's all talk about what is the repeatable solution that we're providing the majority of them. Because you're going to find in healthcare, you're going to be providing X, Y, Z, PDQ almost repeatedly with some variants that are going around, right? So you're like, okay, what are we constantly provisioning to this group? Okay, then the next question you're going to ask, and you put this in the side note, is, okay, what are the problems that we have been solving over the past 2 years with this group? Okay, right, what are the problems? What are you hearing, technical folks? What problem did we solve by doing this, right? Because what we want to start figuring out, okay, is what are we solving? Right? What is a problem? Because people buy because they need problems solved, right? Think about it, right? What are we solving? And start listing out what we're solving. Because when we list that out, now we start putting together the framework of what we want to start selling on a repeatable basis to this vertical market. So you're going to do that exercise for the 3 verticals that you're already currently servicing, because you already have all the data that you need. And by the way, your people are pretty good at what they're doing with those particular clients. So if like one of your clients is law firms, well, heck, I would never work with a law firm. I can't stand that industry. I just personally, I don't know what it is. I've never had any luck with it. It's just, oh man, they're tough people to work with, right? But you might have a different opinion. You might have worked in that industry for many years and understand that all the problems that are there, right? You might be the 500-pound gorilla, right? So the idea here is, 1, we need to figure out, okay, 3 verticals. What are the problems? What are the solutions that we're providing currently today? Okay. Now, next, I'm going to show you a way, a real framework, how to build for tomorrow. Okay. Now, and what I mean by that is we want to create 3 vertical packages, okay, for every vertical. So we're going to have a total of 9 packages. They're all going to be relatively the same, but different because they're based on solving problems in a vertical. Okay. So my idea here is also going to help you build to target 12 to 14 net new customer acquisition deals per year instead of your 4 that you probably have. Okay. So the packages start off with, and I'm going to give it a car analogy. Yugo, a small, brand new, or Honda Civic, okay, is going to be the small package. The middle package is going to be the Mercedes-Benz E-Class, okay? And then the third package is going to be the Lamborghini, okay? The Lamborghini Countach, right? It's the big package, right? So I'm going to give you some examples. So the reason why we want to have the small package, we call it the micro package, okay, is we want to have something that on our website, somebody can visit it, they can see how we solve problems, and they can try and buy it today. You want to automate the deployment of that particular package, and you want to give them like 3 licenses, maybe a solution assessment, some type of monitoring, whatever that is in that solution. Start them off with solving one problem in your micro offer, okay? Now, you would price that. Now, I'm just going to give you some basic pricing ideas at $1,000 a month, and you put it for 3 months on your website. Okay. Now, the second package is the E-class. Okay, so remember that list that we put together. Okay, so you're gonna take that list and you're gonna say, okay, out of these 12 things, we're gonna put 7 of these things inside of our medium package, okay? Because we know what our profit margins are gonna be based on that. We wanna have a 55% profit margin, okay, on that information, okay? But we also want people, we want our people to be able to do this over and over and over again, which would then reduce utilization rate, increase profitability, okay? Lastly, our reputation in the industry starts to grow, okay? Because we do one thing, it's called, we differentiate from our competitor base. I'm going to get into that in a second. The third package is that Lamborghini, right? Is the big, the monster, the best car in the world, right? The Godzilla package. Now, that package is designed to be 3 times the cost of the middle package. So if your middle package was $5,000, your Lamborghini package is $15,000 a month. Okay, full managed services. Even in there, you say, hey, we get the micro, you get the medium, and you get this plus XYZ PDQ. It's the kitchen sink. You even say, I'll give you my mobile number. Call me 24 hours a day. Okay, you set the margin on that package at 65 to 70%. Okay. Now, I'm going to give you the reason why we do it this way. And it really comes down to buyer psychology. Okay, right? Buyer psychology. Okay. 1, they come to your website. They're looking for somebody who knows their industry because they can't make another bad decision. A, we satisfied that. Now, B, they want to see pricing. So put the pricing on your damn website. Put starting at. Okay. Third, they're going to evaluate your packaging right away, right? So if they don't trust you, they want to say, I'm going to do the micro package, right? But if they do trust you, they're going to go to the middle and they're going to go to the right. And they're going to say, ooh, look at that one. I love that one. But I want the one in the middle because that's better value for me. I'm okay. Everyone wants to drive the Lamborghini, but it's completely impractical, okay? You're not going to drive it every day, right? So you got to think about that. Right. Okay. So that's the psychology, because we want them to look up, look to the middle. We want them to look down and be like, okay, I graduate to the middle. So what ends up happening is you start getting repeat customers doing the same thing over and over and over again, and you know what to forecast and what to do. Then it becomes very easy to add something or delete something inside of your product offerings. The worst thing you can do as a company, as a IT company today, in my opinion, is having a line card, a rate card of over 200 different services you provide. Okay, we're going to get into that in a second. Okay, now, last thing I'm going to mention here is, and Jeff, I'm going to call on you for just a second. I'm sorry to pick on you, but if Jeff, if I came to you today and said, Jeff, I've got 12 full managed service clients, they're all about 50 users. Could you actually implement all 12 of them, within the next 2 weeks for your organization?
12 separate managed service customers, correct?
Each with 50 users. Yeah. Could you do that like today, within 2 weeks?
I would say no. I'd say the realistic answer is no, because I think there's onboarding, there's requirements, there's all sorts of things. And honestly, we're not scaled to have, the throughput to have 50 people waiting, right? Or like 12 clients, that kind of resource waiting for 12 new clients. We can definitely do a few at a time, but I would say our service delivery would suffer significantly if we tried to do that. So I'd say no.
Best answer yet, man. I love that. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Now, the reason why I asked him to say that is because we're not built to do my method at scale. Okay. So that's why we have this micro package. Okay, because what we want to do is bring in 10 to 12 of those per year into the micro package. Okay, because we get two things. We solve two things. One, okay, the customer gets to try us out. Okay, tries how we do things, right? Awesome. But from your perspective, you get to do one. You get to evaluate the customer. You get to figure out if they, do they pay their bills on time? Okay. B, do they have a budget to work with, right? C, do you like them as people? Are they people that you want to work with? I don't want to work with people I don't like, right? It's a succubus, right? But 4, the beauty of the micro package enables you to scale, because now you can start saying, I got a bunch of people here buying something from me, and I'm pushing them over into the middle, or I'm pushing them into the right, into the Lamborghini package. So it allows you to scale, but without breaking you. And that's the problem. We don't want to break you, because its reputation is going to be a killer, right? If you flub up those 10 implementations, it's a killer. So we have to figure out this. So I would take my idea, those 3 packages, and I would create the same ones for all 3 industries. And that's how I would start moving forward with business alignment. That's how you build 4, 6, 10x, and you stop the madness, right? So let me show you the next thing I want to talk about is technical hurdles. Okay, technical hurdles. You know, we have. Oh man, this is a thing that, you know, when a partner contracts with us for me to come in and take a look. Okay, I'll basically say, hey, do me a favor. I want you to list all of the line card items that you sell today. And then I want you to give me your profit margins next to each one of those. Okay. How do you sell it, right? Whatnot. And I'll take a look at it. And the average is around 200. It's frightening. And I'll go in there and I'll slash 150 of them out and be like, nope, get rid of that one, 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 that one. And why do I do that? Because the problem is your technical resources, your people that are deploying, how can they ever become experts if you keep adding new technologies to what they're doing? And we know when cloud is exploding, we need to get them more focused, okay, on what they're actually servicing and what they're doing. We need to become more nimble, okay? We're like a ship that has barnacles all over the bottom. We haven't scraped it in the past 10 years, right? If you look at some of your line card items, you might have like SD-WAN card from Cisco. And you're like, why do I have them on my line card? Well, you know why? Because it was opportunistic. You had 1 or 2 clients that said, hey, I need an SD-WAN card. You're like, oh gosh, got to call Cisco and we're going to certified. Oh gosh, right? Okay, right. And you're always a jack of all trades, never a master of none, master of one. Okay, that's why we got to figure out. Okay, the second thing. Oh, Majid, go ahead. Question.
So a quick one, Sherman. Like, I really love working with partners that bundle up modern work M365 with SaaS and services, but it's always a bit confusing when it gets into packaging Azure, right, or Dynamics world, or even Fabric world. Do you recommend we build these kind of like packages also for the other clouds? Once again, I'm a modern work specialist, and so that's more of my realm. But yeah, I'm having a little bit of trouble thinking of packaged Azure or Fabric services. Do you recommend also that there are kind of like ways to do it? Yeah,
100%. And that's why, you know, what I was doing, I was saying that the exercise you have with your folks is, hey guys, we're constantly talking to these people in this industry. What problems are what are we solving? You know, because each customer is a little different. They'll come to you and then you solve that problem, but we don't really do a great job at telling our leadership what problems that we're solving. So it could be, okay, I want to use Fabric, okay, inside of, I'm going to use a Fabric implementation for healthcare, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to use Fabric to turn cost centers into profitability centers. Right? That could be your middle offer, right? Which would include some modern workplace, right? Some security, but maybe the Fabric implementation is the core to your message, which is, hey, we specialize in taking cost centers in healthcare and turning them into profit centers. Whatever that means, right? But
perfect. Yep.
You're combining. So I would say, yeah, or if you have if you're a Dynamics partner, great. Maybe you have a solution for healthcare, the way that you set it up, that helps them with single sign-on or whatever, right? I mean, not single sign-on, but you know what I mean, like managing their systems or something. But that's how I would do it. I would don't look at product, because I think that's also some of the modern workplace partners, they're just bundling product. Okay, well, you're not differentiating yourself from anybody else.
Yep.
It's product, but think about, okay, how did you use that product to help a manufacturer secure? Because you have M's, right? You have the security stuff. So did you put on Entra ID, right? What did you do, right? And then that's the solution, not Microsoft security. The package is, managing identities in a manufacturer, right? So that's part of the package, right? So, but that's using a Microsoft product to do it. But we're not calling out that Microsoft product.
Perfect. Yep, that makes a lot of sense. Because what we see from broad market perspective, for SMB especially, it's all like, let's get M365 business, like one package on business standard, another one on business premium, and then we attach like like an antivirus engine, advanced threat, a couple of service hours, and that's it. And these are the packages. And then when it's like Azure or Fabric type of partners, I see it's more about, let's just see how we can answer any of your needs by these solutions that we specialize in. And then the pre-sale cycle is so long and it takes so much time, and there's a lot of confusions, and these package model service is so much faster, and everyone would be so much more comfortable. Makes total sense.
Yeah, they would be, right? And it's just, I'm going to solve your problem, right? Which most people, if I'm going to meet with you, I got a problem. I don't need to know the 32 security products that come with M365. My problem is phishing attacks. How are you using this to help me with phishing attacks? It's as simple as that, right? Okay. Absolutely. So now this is the next thing that we're going to stop the madness today. Okay, we're going to draw our line in the sand. The problem with your technical resources is your salespeople are using them to be salespeople, meaning that your salesperson, who you're paying a lot of money, schedules an appointment, find somebody that's interested. And the first thing they typically do, they call up one of your technical folks. They say, hey, John, I got this great opportunity. Can you come on and help me with it? John says, absolutely. So they get to that appointment, and then the rep says, hey, thanks, everybody. I brought my good engineer, John, on the call. John, take it away. And then what does John do? John sits there for an hour and a half and does a discovery. And then afterwards, they're creating the proposal. Then they're pitching the discovery. They're pitching back, helping to close the deal. And then you got it, right? But that's madness, because you realize that your utilization rate for those billable resources is being encumbered by those salespeople. They're taking all the time, okay? And those are billable hours, guys, ladies and gentlemen. That's billable hours. We cannot allow our salespeople to do that. We need to bone up our salespeople, but we need to help our technical resources to say, no, what you need to do is push back to the salespeople and say, no, go run the discovery. Here are the questions. I need to figure this out. Start a proposal. Come to me with questions afterwards, but I'm not going to run it for you. Okay? So we need to give them back some time to help our business become more profitable. Okay? That's what we got to think about, is how do we get our business? Okay. Next thing I want to talk about marketing here. Okay. So marketing is very interesting in our industry. And the thing is, the majority of our industry sells about 4.5 deals a year. Okay. And out of those 4.5 deals, 4 of them are the I'm on fire referral method. Okay. So with that being said, our expectations as an industry when it comes to marketing is based on how we've acquired net new customers. Okay. And that is wholesalely misaligned. Okay. Marketing is not about, I put in 5,000 today, and then tomorrow I'm going to get $5,000 deal tomorrow or next month. That's not marketing. Okay. That has nothing to do with marketing. What marketing should be, okay, is awareness. Okay, it's awareness and putting yourself in the position where people see who you are, what you do, how you do it, and when they pop up and look for a partner that does that, they know who you are because you've been marketing correctly to your clients. Okay, now I'm gonna gift card time. Here we go. What? Or did we already put this? No, I don't think we did. What percentage? Did we already put the percentage of marketing spend? Was that already? Did I already do that earlier today? Or was that last night? Oh, yeah. Okay, here we go. What percentage of gross revenue do you think the majority of our partners spend on marketing? What percentage of gross revenue do you think our partners spend on marketing? $25 gift card for that. Let's see. Jeff comes in with 3%. Ozgate comes up with 35%. Andre at 5%. Anybody else? Amaury, 15. Okay. So Jeff, have you attended any of my other sessions? Because you hit it right in the nose, man. That's awesome. 3%. Jeff wins.
No, I haven't. I just think it's low. That's why I was like, it's pretty low. Because people don't like to see big numbers. Even if they make a lot of money, why would you want to spend all that money on marketing? It's what people generally think. Because they don't know that, yes, because they don't know that it's like there's a science to it. They think there's a mystery to the math. And there definitely is an approach and a methodology and what you can expect out of it. But people just don't like to, they spend a lot and they end up, going back because they're like, I don't like the results of it. I don't know how to translate it.
Yeah, and I mean, it's great because that coincides with the way that we acquire customers, right? It's referral methods mostly, so our expectations are misaligned with what marketing is, right? Okay, so the growth partners, the ones that are in our workbook that we compare this to, they spend between 10 and 15%, okay, on marketing. Okay, now the third one, this is another gift card, $25, okay? What do you think McDonald's, the Golden Arches, the hamburgers, what do you think they spend as a percentage of their gross revenue on marketing? Go ahead and put it in, and we'll see what answers we get from that one. McDonald's, the hamburger company. Okay. All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, look at this. Amari comes late to the game. It's like the 10th round. You scored it. It's 21% of their gross revenue they spend on marketing. And that's why we sometimes notice there's a Golden Arches around just down the corner, and we're like, oh gosh, it's a terrible hamburger, but I love the French fries, right? It's awareness. Okay, so let's understand this. Okay, let's think about, you need to understand the metrics of buyer intent. Okay, number one, let's say, because Jeff, we already talked to Jeff about doing all these appointments. Let's say Jeff ran 100 discovery appointments in January. I mean, he is busy, this guy. Holy smokes, right? Got 100 opportunities. He met with 100 customers. Now, the metrics behind those discovery appointments is that 0 to 5 of those people, okay, are ready, willing, able to buy today. They are upset with their technology partner. And as long as Jeff had something serviceable to offer to solve their problem, they're going to buy today. Okay. From 6 to 20 of those people that he met with are ready, willing, and able to buy today, but they don't trust Jeff just yet. Okay. Now, from 21 to 100 are people that are not ready, willing, and able to buy. They're interested. They've thought about this product. Somebody told them, hey, maybe go ahead and take the meeting, go ahead and kind of understand that. But they're in contract. They're happy with their person. Okay. That's in January. Now, if Jeff is doing marketing correctly, in February, okay, some of those people that didn't trust him now trust him. So those 5 to 20 now go into that 0 to 5. Now, some people that are in the 20 to 1 to 100, now maybe they're out of contract, or maybe they had an event that happened to them, right? And if we did our marketing correctly, they'll remember who we are. Same thing happens for February, March, April, May, June, July, okay? That is understanding those metrics, okay, is understanding that we need to be in front of people, building our profile, talking about solving problems, okay, so that when they raise their head, they're like, oh, yeah, well, I got to do this now. Remember, Jeff sent me that great, his set of emails that were amazing talking about this. And I can give you an example of emails to send, okay? Number one, we're going to stop marketing product. Today, another line in the sand. We're no longer going to ever talk about marketing Office 365 because Microsoft spends millions of dollars on that. No more, okay? Number two, our website is no longer going to be the same as every other MSP around us, because I bet you if you open up 5 MSPs around you, they're all going to say, we do this the best, our response time's the best, we never lose any customers, we are the best. We're a Microsoft partner, right? Okay, we're going to stop that madness too, okay? We're going to differentiate, okay? But the emails that are now going to any one of your potential customers or prospects or people that are in your funnel should be content syndication type of emails. So for example, let's say you put a content syndication piece out there, 10 items to know before you start your Fabric implementation, okay? We understand that our customers are trying to get answers to questions before they talk to you. So they'll download that. Fantastic, great. Now, the correct sequence for that prospect is weekly sending a follow-up email. So let's say we send our first email on Wednesday, right? And they download it on Wednesday. Next Wednesday, we send them an email saying, hey, Jeff, thanks so much for downloading 10 things to consider before you start your Fabric implementation. Here are 10 more items, 10 financial considerations that you should consider before you start this project. 1 week later, another email comes out from Jeff. Hey, John, you downloaded this. I sent you another data sheet on financial considerations. These are 10 tips and tricks to know when you do your Fabric implementation, right? Follow-up email from that one, okay, is, hey, we sent you 3 things on Fabric. The last thing I wanted to share with you was a framework for starting your Fabric implementation. These are the steps that you want to do to kind of get started with this, and planning may take 6 months. Can we go ahead and schedule a call? Love to hear about what your thoughts are on how to actually talk about this thing that you're interested in, right? And the main thing there, okay, is what we're doing is we're breaking down the barriers of trust. They don't trust you. We're breaking down these barriers by giving them great information, but we're also not selling them who we are. Get an appointment. We do X, Y, and Z. I can't tell you how many LinkedIn messages I get. Oh my gosh. Or hey, I've been researching your company and I noticed that you do a great job in mobile app development. I'm looking at this email like, are you serious? I don't do anything in mobile app development. That's just spam, right? Well, we specialize in these 42 different workloads. Call us if you have any problems. It's pointless. You're not doing anything. And people are doing that. Okay, awesome. So that's marketing. I would make sure that you spend a minimum of, if you're growing, I think you got to look around 10%. But you got to stop the start and stop stuff. You can't like chase a shiny object. I think what you do is every year you bank on, you say, okay, I'm going to try 3 things. If one works, great. The other 2 failed, that's fine. But we're going to stay the course. And every quarter, we're going to go ahead and make little tweaks to these little things. Okay. But stop the madness of starting and stopping and, oh, I didn't get any return on my investment in 1 month or 2. Adios. Okay, stop the madness with marketing. Okay, now the last slide I'm going to talk about is sales. Now this one's near and dear to my heart because I think I knew I was going to be in sales and marketing when I was like 12 years old. I remember going to the pool, in the summertime, and I'd go to the grocery store and buy a whole bunch of candy, and then I would resell it to make a profit. I don't know if any of you guys are Star Trek fans, but my brother used to always say, Sherman, you're a Ferengi. I'm like, oh, okay, thanks. I didn't quite understand the reference there at first, but I was like, okay, now I get it, right? I am a Ferengi, right? Okay, so a couple things here. Okay, I'm going to give you an example. I can't stand, as a majority, our sales executives who work for our IT companies. I just have so little faith in them, and I'll tell you why. Okay, is I'll typically go into a partner and I'll say, hey, can I talk to your number one salesperson? Let me just ask them a few questions, and they'll say, yeah. I'm like, great, fantastic. So I meet this guy. His name is John. John, hey, great job, John. I hear you're the number one salesperson. And then he's like, yep, absolutely, number one, right? Killed it this year. I'm like, great. Hey, so how many deals did you do this year? And then he'll come back and he says, well, we did 5 deals this year. I got 5, a banner year. Last year I got 4, but the 5th one this year, man, I might be able to get a 6th. I'm like, okay. John, let me ask you a question. You say, what? Like, well, out of those 5 deals you got, how many of those were referral deals? And then the sheepishness comes in. They say, oh, well, all 5 of them, because, we do a great job here. At ABC IT, we're number 1 at this, number 1 at that, number 2 at this, number 1 at that. And that's why they keep coming back. And man, let me just tell you, and I'll say, they'll tell us, I have a 99.9% close ratio. Like, okay, thank you. Then I ask this next question. Hey, John, what certifications do you have? Do you have Azure Fundamentals, SC900 Security Fundamentals, or Data and AI Fundamentals? Do you have any of those? And then I get the looking down at the shoulder. No, I don't have any of those, but that's what my engineers are for. Oh, okay. So what? And I'll unpack that. I say, well, how do you use your engineering? He goes, well, my job is I go develop the business. I set an appointment and I bring my engineer in. Okay. So after I do that evaluation, I quietly say, thank you so much. You're doing a great job. Keep up the good work. I walk over to the leadership's office and I say, you need to fire that guy. That guy is absolutely worthless. And they'll look at me, but he's the number 1 guy. And I'm like, well, he's robbing you blind. I go, A, he's not doing his job. Okay. He's just leeching off of your good name. So he's not getting any net new business. Number 2, he's uneducated. Number 3, he's eroding your profitability by bringing your engineers in on every deal. And he thinks he's walking on water because you helped him build his business. And he's not educated. He doesn't care. That's the worst salesperson you could possibly have. Okay, but that example is pervasive in our industry. Okay, 90% of the sellers that I talk to have this methodology. Our sellers think that 4 deals a year is great. They think getting